Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Today is 2020, August 21st, Friday, and it's 4:30 in the afternoon, San Francisco time. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Bart, Alan, and Informatic. So today we are going to do a concentrated Emacs Lisp tutorial. I'm going to show you how to create a command that highlights text. Okay, and so first of all, today's background image is this keyboard. Fantastic. Hey, Danielle. So this is this keyboard. You see, there's hyper, super, meta, control. This is one of the Lisp keyboards. This is Racco Norsk KPS10 Lisp prototype keyboard. This one is actually a prototype. It's never made. This is at the end, near the end of AI winter. You know, that's the death of Lisp. Around 1990, I think. When is this keyboard? 1984. Okay, so 1984. So anyway, so that's today's background. And you see, back then we have this optical mouse. 1984. This optical mouse, unlike today's, where so back then you use this mirror pad for it to work. Without that pad, it doesn't work. So okay, that's the background image, and let's get started. We're gonna do this tutorial, and this is just going to be a concentrated tutorial. So we are going to write a command that highlight text. Let me show you. Okay, so you go to let me show you some default Emacs commands. So you go to my Emacs tutorial, just search for Xah Emacs highlighting commands. For example, so let's magnify my buffer. For example, let's say I want to highlight all the words Emacs. Okay, let's see. So Emacs. So I just call the command highlight lines matching rejects. There are several commands. Highlight phrase. Okay, there it is. Wait, highlight phrase. Then you type Emacs, press enter. It asks you what color. So yellow is fine. So now you can see yellow. Now let's highlight Lisp keyword. So highlight phrase Lisp, and what color? Pink. You can see. So that's a highlight command. So how do you do it? How do you write a command to do that? I'm gonna show you. Okay, so here are some of the commands. Highlight regular expression, highlight symbol at point. Very useful if you are a programmer doing source code. Sometimes you want to see some function name highlighted. Highlight lines matching regular expression. Highlight phrase, highlight regular expression. So there are these commands. So I'm going to show you how to do them. So what do? You go to my Emacs tutorial, then you go to Emacs Lisp, writing a major mod. Okay, then you go down. Then you look at text properties. Okay, so that's my tutorial where I tell you, you can read it. I tell you how to do it. But we are going to do it from scratch. I'm just going to explain and do it live. So highlight command. So let's start a Emacs Lisp. Okay, so just open the empty buffer. Any buffer will do. But since I'm so anyway, so here is my Emacs Lisp. Define a function, and so let me explain. So in Emacs there are two mechanisms to highlight text. For example, you see these red lines, comments in HTML. That's syntax coloring, obviously, right? You see this is blue, this is blue, and for a string you have a red, and then normally it's black. This is syntax coloring. So in general, syntax coloring in a major mod, programming language mod, they use a mechanism called text properties. I'm going to show you that now. Okay, text properties. Now that's one mechanism. There's another mechanism called overlay. Okay, I think we are going to explain that. We need to do this fast, but let's focus on text properties first. So in Emacs, you have something called text property. Like in a buffer, every text, for example, any text, you can actually attach a property to it. And so, for example, over here, how does Emacs know that this part should be read? Well, it's because in this section, in this region of text, there's actually a text property that tells you that it should be color red. That's the reason. So how do you do it? So okay, so let's see. Let's write a code to do. Let's say highlight. Let's write a command highlight current word. Okay. Okay, highlight current word, the word under cursor. Okay, let's see. Type the doc string. Highlight the word under cursor to be read. Okay, and let's give a version number. Today's date. It's my convention to always give a version number of date for a command. So okay, so how do we do it? Highlight the word under cursor. Wait, so am I doing good? Always good? Okay, highlight word under cursor. Hold on a second. Let's see. Okay, so highlight word under cursor. So first of all, we need to find out the beginning position and end position of the word under cursor. So how you do that? There's a command, current word. There are quite a few ways to do it, but one of the simplest way is using a command, something called current word. I forgot the command name. So let's go to my Emacs Lisp tutorial, and we'll find it. String functions, text editing. There is a let's just use thing at point. Okay, that's because it's more general. Thing at point. So there is this command thing at point, and you just say a symbol word, and that will let me show you how to do it. First of all, position 1, position 2, that's the beginning and end position of the word we want. So bound of thing at point. So that's a command. That's a command you want to call bounds of thing at point. Then let's just say word. Okay. So what that will return is a vector. This will return a vector. So let me show you how do you do this. Bounds. Okay, let's say boundary. So we have 3 variables. So first of all, set boundary. Okay, then this command bounds of thing at point. So what it will return is a vector like that. Wait. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, it will return a vector like that, 2 numbers. The number are position, cursor position in the buffer. That's what sample return value. Okay, so once we got the boundary, then we want to set position 1 and position 2. So position 1 is going to be set position 1 a ref. Okay, when you want to get a element of a array, you use a ref. Wait, I think it returns a list instead of an array. So let's look up the documentation. Describe function. So here is the documentation. So determines the start and end buffer location for the thing at point. Okay, blah blah blah. Return a const cell. So that it returns a const cell. That's what it returns, data type. So in that case, car, if it returns a const cell like that, like that. So to get the first element, you just say car. Okay, then set position 2. To get the second element, you say cadre. Okay, CDR. That's just the strange names you see. Car and cadre is just historical. Don't worry about it. You can, you might find online articles about why they are named that, but basically it's a const cell. Anyway, so car, you get the first point, and cadre is the second point, second element in a const cell. Const cell is just basically, it's just a list like thing with only 2 elements. That's a const cell. So we don't that. So okay, so that's that. Now the next step is, so now we have the beginning and end position. Now we just want to highlight it. So what do? You call this command text properties. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let's go back to my talk show. You go to text properties. I'm gonna explain. So what you want is text properties here. Let me copy it. It's easier. So you see, so we are going to call this command text properties. Put text property. What does that mean? So this function takes 2 elements, takes several arguments. The first 2 arguments is a position, beginning and end position. So in our case, it's position 1 and position 2. Then the rest of the arguments is going to ask you what kind of property you want to add to this region, to this position 1, position 2, the region between those 2 positions. So what is a text property? You can read my tutorial, I explain in detail, but text property is basically a list of pairs. So it's actually just a list of pairs, key value pairs. So in our case, we are going to add one of the built-in key is called font lock face. Okay, font lock face. So we are going to add a text property with a key font lock face to this region. Then the value of that is going to be this this Lisp expression, foreground red. Yeah, foreground red. So let's prettify. So that's it. That's the code. That's all there it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna evaluate this buffer. Okay. Now copy the word, copy the command name. Now let's go back to my talk show. Okay, so my talk show, let's say I want to highlight the word modify. You see that word modify. So I put a cursor under that word, call the command we just defined, highlight current word. Okay, enter. There it is. You see it's red. So that's how you do it. Okay, let's go back to the code. That's how you do it. It's so simple. Okay, so far so good. Comments, guys. Okay, comments. Let's see. Do we have comments? Say something, hi, guys. Let's see. How long have I been talking? There's something wrong with this. Pop-up. Let's see how long I've been talking. Then let's move on to the next topic. 14 minutes. Okay, it's pretty good. So that is how you highlight text. You read my tutorial. You explain the whole thing. But now, okay, now let's copy the code and put it in my Lisp tutorial. Okay, so. Second. Okay, paste the code here, show in browser. So we got a code, that's today's code, and make it syntax color, refresh. So that is our code for highlighting the current word. Now let's move on to the next thing we want to do. So text properties is one of the mechanism in Emacs to highlight, to make coloring of a text. And the thing we just showed, text properties, is actually the more fundamental, because every major mod, every programming language mod, JavaScript, Java, C, Python, Ruby, Perl, any programming language mod, when they highlight words, they are using text property mechanism. Okay, that is what they are using. This is the kind of the most efficient mechanism to highlight text. Text properties. Okay. Now let me show you. There's another mechanism, a kind of secondary mechanism. It's called overlay. So it's also, you can see the code here. It's actually pretty simple as well. All you have to do is look at that lines of code. Overlay, make overlay, then face and bold, and beginning and end position. You give a beginning and end position of a buffer, then you just call this command. Then you say what kind of color, what you want, bold or whatever. So overlay. So what's the difference between overlay and text properties? Okay. So for text properties, it's kind of a list of pairs that is attached to any text in a region, in a buffer. So when you copy and paste any text, the color, the properties also go with it. So when you copy a piece of text in Emacs, you actually copied, for example, this text, you see this color. If I cut it, the text properties go with it. So if I paste it here, it's again colored, actually. So if I open a new buffer, magnify, paste it, you can see the color is still there. Okay, so let's try again. So open a new buffer, and let's make this fundamental mod. So there is no coloring in this buffer. But however, now let's paste it. You see it's still color. Why is it color? Because the text properties come with the text. Okay, that's the text properties. So what's the difference? What's overlay? Now overlay is something different. Overlay is kind of just like the English word overlay, like you are laying something on top of the buffer, so it's not fixed to the text. So what's the point of overlay? For example, you've seen tooltips, right? You've seen tooltips, like right now you see the tooltips. The tooltips in CSS, the web technology, JavaScript, CSS, is kind of overlay, or in Photoshop you have layers. In Photoshop you have layers. So what's so good for that? Well, that's advantageous in the sense that you can modify one layer without modifying the other layer. So that is what the overlay is kind of like. So overlay, there is a cost though, because when you have like hundreds color, it's less efficient. So in general, you don't want overlay. So when do you want to use overlay? Overlay is when you want to, for example, when you highlight words, when you call the command highlight phrase, that built-in Emacs command. Let's say, what do you want to highlight? Let's say you want to highlight the word keyword, okay, and highlight green. Now you can see the keywords are highlighted green. Those are overlay. So overlay is in general it's used for ephemeral purposes, like you might want to remove the overlay later on, things like that. So that's overlay. Okay, so actually we are going to do so that actually finish the explanation about overlay. We can try this actually. Let's try it. Okay, so let's try the code. Let's emacs lisp. Okay, create a new buffer, paste the code here. I'm just going to use the copy and paste. So this command will highlight the region using the overlay mechanism, and it will make it bold. You can see bold. Okay, eval buffer. Now let's go back to the HTML buffer, and let's say I want to overlay this word figure. Okay, so I select it. Now first of all, it's red, right? It's red here. So I select it, call the command xah make overlay bold region, enter. Okay, you can see now that word figure is now bold. So that's overlay. Okay, copy the paste code, paste it here, make it like put it into our talk show page. So that's overlay. Okay, so that completes my explanation and demonstration of these two text highlighting mechanisms. These are the two text highlighting mechanisms. Now let's go. The next thing we want to do is let's use a practical example, because I'm going to write. I have a command that does something, and I need it transforms the buffer text in the buffer. When it's done, I want all the places that changed to be highlighted, so I can easily see it. Okay, so this is an application of the text highlighting. Okay, so far so good. Where's my good morning, guys. Renato, good. Okay, thank you. Ribo, Jason, good. Informatic, it's off topic, but why no HTTPS in your website? Well, that's partly because I'm lazy. You have to do it, and usually you have to pay like $40 a year. Anyway, so let's go back. Let's make a practical example. Okay, close that, reopen. So this is back to my talk show. Now I want to show a practical example. Let's see. Okay, here. So I have a command that's xah-html-remove-all-wikipedia-link. Okay, let me show you. So for example, I have this page. This is one of my blog about parallel programming problem, ASCII file string. So what does this problem? What is the problem? Basically, when you have a text that has lots of these European language characters, sometimes you want to remove them. So you want to replace E acute with the accent, remove all those accents. So that is the task, that is the problem. So on this page, the issue is how do you code it? It turns out there are so many ways to implement that. You can implement this in emacs Lisp, in Common Lisp, in Scheme, in Golang, in JavaScript, in Perl. Many ways to do it. I mean, you can use any language, but however, the algorithm turns out it's suitable for parallelism. So this is a good exercise for parallel programming. So I mean, we are not going to do that, but what we are going to do is, you see there is some text is green, they link to Wikipedia. So for example, this ID and homograph attack, you can read it later. And for example, duplicate characters in Unicode. So in Unicode, there are many characters that look similar, but they are different. Okay. So why am I mentioning them? Because they are related to these, ASCII. They are, if you want to implement them, they are related to parallel programming, because you can use parallel programming to do those things, to do this task in your algorithm. So anyway, our concern right now is, You see, they are links to Wikipedia. Okay, they are links to Wikipedia, and also here. So anyone want to try it? Perhaps in Fortress language, Cecil language, Erlang language, Ease language, Alice language, X10 language. All these languages, there's one thing in common. They are all designed for parallel programming and also closure. They are all for parallel programming. But anyway, what I want to do is I have a command. I want to remove all these Wikipedia links. Okay. So let's go back. So I have a command. Let's go to this page. Okay. Copy back to Emacs. Open that page. So this is a page, programming problem, parallel programming. So if you let's say list matching lines pedia, you can see all these lines matching, all these links in Wikipedia. So you have, Fortress, Cecil, Erlang is, for example, let's go to there. You see this section. They are all Wikipedia links. Now I have a command that removes them all. So let me show you. Let me call the command. Okay. So call the command xah-html-remove-all-wikipedia-link. Okay. So that's a command. Call it. You see all gone. You see that. You see over here. It's all the Wikipedia links is gone. But however, it shows in the message buffer. So here is the message buffer. Here is all the links that has been just deleted. Okay. Okay. But what I want is I want the command to highlight here. Highlight it. So I can know in the buffer where they changed. Okay, so let's write that command. That's what we're gonna do. So let's look at the source code for xah remove HTML. Source code for xah-html remove all Wikipedia link. Okay, here's the source code. So far so good. Any questions, comments, questions? Okay. Where's my Renato says, how can I list the entire xah keys? Well, that's off topic, but you can do it. You can do it by space Control H. Okay, that's how you list. That's how you list all leader keys. Okay, let me try it again. Space Control H. Okay, so now expand the buffer. So that's all the commands for leader keys. Okay, so back to our program. So this function, this command xah remove all Wikipedia links. Let me explain how it works. So go to character, go to the point minimum, go to the beginning of buffer, then a while loop, then search for word for Wikipedia link. That's a class string. So basically what that does is it moves cursor to a let's undo. It moves cursor to a Wikipedia link here. Then then it sets flag. Okay, sets flag xah. Okay, so what it does is it calls another command. So then it calls another command, xah-html-remove-wikipedia-link, which just removes that one single link. But what it return? It returns a flag. Then okay, so this command xah-html remove Wikipedia links removes the link at the cursor position, and it returns the whole link as flag. Then what it does is you push that value to a list, removed text list. Okay, then what it does is you print, you map, then you map the print function. Print, basically you want to print every link you remove to the message buffer. So that's what it does. Then just return the list of removed text link. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to color the removed part. Okay, so the main function is this one. This is a function that removes it. So let's go to it. So here is a function. So this function removes the current link the cursor is under. Okay. Okay, so I have to explain this code. Okay, so let's explain the code then. Okay, so let then when, so it start to search for word. Remember, the cursor is inside the link. It search for word for the end tag of the link. Okay, if it's found, then it set p2 position. Then it sets, then search backward to the beginning of the link, the anchor link. Then sets p1. So p1 and p2 is the beginning and end position of the link. Then set text to delete. You grab the text, buffer string no properties. You give it 2 positions, then it returns the text, the string under that 2 position. So save that to text to delete. Then you search for word. You search for word for the Wikipedia link. Then, oh my God! So this code, then calls another command. So once you move the cursor to the link, then you call another command to remove HTML tags. Yeah, I should have just coded here. So xah-html remove HTML tags. So you call another command to remove HTML tags. That's no good. Well, so you call that command. That command remove the entire link. But what we want to do is let me explain. Okay, go back to the HTML page. Let me explain. So for example, you have a Wikipedia link here. You see, you have a Wikipedia link here. Now, if you remove the entire link, what is left is the the link text. This is a text we want to highlight, and in order to do that, we need to know the beginning and end position. Okay, that's what we need. But however, in the current way it works, you don't have that. You cannot get the beginning and end position of the link text, because this command actually just removes, this command removes every possible tag in the region. Yeah, so it's getting complex. So we don't want that. So let's modify the code then. Okay, we are back to the let's narrow to region. We are back to this. Let's code our own. Okay, so let's code it quickly. So how long have I been? Is it so far so good? Feedback. Yes, type yes. Okay, let's see how long I've been talking. 34 minutes, not so bad. So let's code this fast. So now remember, right now the cursor is under a link, under a Wikipedia link. So now what we do is search backward to the beginning of the HTML bracket. Okay. then set P1. Okay, let's say P3, P4. Okay, position 3, position 4. Okay, so let's set P3, and P3 is the beginning of the link. Actually, we don't want to. Yeah, let's say search for P3. Okay, then search forward the end bracket. Okay, I'm just going to code fast. Okay, then set P4. Okay, then what we do is we delete region P3, P4. Okay, delete region, then search forward, delete region. Yeah, then search forward that for that. Then set P3, then search backwards, search P4, then delete region again. That should be it. Prettify the code. Okay, that should be it. Okay, when. Okay, that's our code. It should work. Okay, let's try it. Eval the code, go to HTML, undo. So we have a Wikipedia link here. Now I move the cursor somewhere inside the link, then call the command xah-remove-Wikipedia-link. Call it, works. You see, now the link is good. Undo. Let's go back. Okay, so far so good. Now we are going to do the highlight. Okay. Now we are going to do the highlight, but before we do that, hold on a second. Let's use begin link text begin. Okay, another variable, link text end. Okay, link text begin position, and here will be link text begin, and here will be link text end. Yeah, that's it. Am I correct? No, wait. No, that's not right. Okay, hold on a second. So this part deletes the beginning of that part deletes the beginning link, the beginning tag of the link. Let me write it so it's clear. Okay, delete the beginning tag, delete the end tag, and link tag. Okay, now in between we are going to do set link text begin. Okay, so that is the position where the link text begins. Then the link text end is here. Okay, so Yep, that's that. Okay, so far the code works exactly the same. We just added two more positions, link text begin and link text end. Now what we are going to do is overlay, add the color. Remember, we want to add the color. So so let's go back to our code. So how do you do overlay? You do it this way. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have a overlay put describe function. Describe function is, so here is the documentation for overlay. Overlay put property value. Okay. So here's a function, overlay put make overlay begin end will be okay, link text begin, link text end. Then property will be, I wanted red, I wanted red. So for red you can use this code. Okay, property will be here is our property and here is the value. There. Let's make it so there. And face bold, we don't want face bold. Okay, so this code will color it red. So let's try if it works. Okay, eval the syntax error, unbalanced parent. Somewhere I got it wrong. Backtrace. Wait. Okay, yeah, I copy. Yeah, okay, so now it's good. Let's prettify this a little bit. Yeah. Evaluate the expression, then back to the HTML, shrink a little bit, delete that. Let's go down. So we go to the position where there is lots of Wikipedia links. You see, so there's a lot of Wikipedia links. Now I'm going to call the command xah-html-remove-all-wikipedia-links. So all these links will be gone, but the words like the link text will be red. So let's call it. Let's hope it works. Xah remove all Wikipedia link. Do it. Yay! It worked, but we got a problem. You see, this word is highlighted red, but apparently something went wrong. So something went wrong. But that's the idea. So we just now undo. We need to fix the bugs. So wait, undo again. So why is that? How did it happen so that it highlighted in such a strange way? Okay, I know. Now remember, before we said that if you use overlay mechanism to color text, it doesn't stick with the text. It kind of floats. It marks two position, but if you change your buffer, if you delete lots of text before it, the overlay coloring doesn't change. It doesn't move with the text. That's the reason. I think that's the reason. So I haven't logically thought about this but we can actually go back to the code. So instead of using overlay, let's just use the put text properties. Let's just so actually we improved our code. So instead of overlay, let's say put text properties. Okay, I don't have a shortcut. So let's copy the code here. There it is. Put text properties. Position. Okay, position will be that link begin, link end. Then the property will be font face foreground red. Okay. Yeah, so let's comment out the overlay thing. That's it. So let's make it this one line. Okay, so whoops, shit. So we evaluate the code back to HTML, back to this HTML, close it, reopen it, so we got a fresh HTML show in browser. So you see this is that page. You go down, you see all these links. Now we're going to call the command remove all Wikipedia link. Call it. Done. Okay, so it's still incorrect. Okay, so debug again. So apparently the problem is not due to overlay. The problem is due to our mark position is incorrect. So so the code here, so we have to think about that. Okay, so let's see. Search backward, search forward. So this is the beginning tag. Then set. Oh, I know why. Okay, so you cannot. You have to. Okay, should we explain? So far so good. Should I explain what's going on? You guys know? Do you? Okay, let me explain. You guys are quiet. Say something. So let me explain the code. So what's going on? So what's going on is undo. I'm not sure. Do I still make sense? Say something, guys. So at this point, does that make sense or getting more complex? Should I explain or should I just go ahead and just make it work and everyone is happy? Okay, so what happens is that you see. So let me show. Okay, so let me show a code. For example, so here is a Wikipedia link. So what happened is that when the cursor, so we are moving, so cursor is inside the link somewhere. Okay, so first of all we search backward to the angle bracket, then we search forward to the closing angle bracket. So the cursor is right here. Now we want to delete that part, so we delete it, and we want to know the beginning position of the word, the link text. So we have to, what we have to do, we have to delete this first, then set the position, because otherwise if you set the position now, then you delete it, the position is wrong, and because you already deleted some text above, so the position will be incorrect. So what you need to do is you need to delete it, then set position. Okay, so that is why our code is not working properly. So let's go back to the code. So you see this setting should be here. Okay, wait, we got that wrong. So So you see, we delete the position, we delete the region first, then we set the position. Similarly here, okay, let's just run the code. Let's use the overlay again. Okay, evaluate the buffer. Now let's go back to the HTML page. Call the command xah-remove-all-wikipedia-link. Do it. Hey, fantastic! Now you can see success. The text becomes red, and all the removed links shows in the message buffer. Okay, so that is what we wanted to do today. How long I've been talking? 51 minutes. So I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming by. Yeah, so so now we are back in browser. Let's refresh. Once you refresh, all this Wikipedia link will be good. Do it. Good. So it's good. Back to the talk show. So let's clean up. We shut down in 3 minutes. Okay, we shut down. We clean up the code a little bit. Yeah, here's our code. Copy the code. Actually, this is part of HTML, part of xah-html mod. So actually, let's modify it. Let's update the version name, and let's update the version name and go back here and update the version name of the mod. Okay. So I want to add a date stamp. Wait. Okay, add a date stamp. Not that. I want add a date stamp version 8.12 then something. Okay, save it, match it. I want to sync to the my GitHub. So here is, let's see what we changed. So we changed quite a few things. Okay, let me actually there's more than one change. So split buffer. Okay, hold on a second. So this command now highlight change, and also now let's describe variable. Describe variable major. Okay, describe variable major mod. That's how you find the technical name of the mod. Okay, so the technical name of the mod is xah-html mod. So now HTML mod is based on HTML mod. I'm writing the commit message, and xah-html-remove-wikipedia-link is will now highlight change. So that's my commit message. Cut that, delete that, close it, do it again, magic status, and type S to stage the file, type CC to commit, then ask me a commit message. Okay, So the commit message we typed there before. Okay, now Control C to commit. Now it's committed. Now let's push it to the server. Capital P. So now it's on my GitHub. xah-html mod. Good. Close the buffer. Close the buffer. That's the code we done. Before we close it, we want to okay, close it. I want to show the source code. Describe function, jump to the source code. There it is. Copy it, close this page, close that, back to the talk show page. Where's the talk show page? Yeah, go to Xah Talk Show, and at the bottom insert the emacs lisp template, show in browser. So at the bottom, here's today's code. Now let's syntax color it. Color it, back to browser, refresh. There it is. That's today's code. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, go to my Emacs tutorial. You can learn all about this in detail and buy my tutorial. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Bye guys.